Hello, my name is Tim Phillips. I'm the Managing Director of eSig Intelligence. I've got some interesting data I think you will find from our latest survey of the European Parliament MEPs, so members of the European Parliament. We asked them about new nicotine products in general. Very important in terms of policy because we've got huge changes going on the regulatory side in Europe, within the EU. We have an important policy debate and vote at the end of, in fact, the start of December, the end of this year, 2021. And we've also just had the announced timetable for the revision of the Tobacco Products Directive. So that's destined for 2024. MEPs are going to be incredibly important in deciding the future policy and the future regulatory environment for new nicotine products. So that's why we're doing this kind of work. You can read about this. We've been looking at the vape category for nearly 7 years now, and we're an independent data provider looking at market data and regulatory information. What are the results of the survey? Well, first things first, we were pleased with the response rate. We got 56 MEPs responses. That's compared to just over 30 for last year's survey. So significant increase in the interest levels, and that's reflected in the number of MEPs that replied to our survey. But I think it's clear as well that we've got a better read, having widened the scope and the number of MEPs that we get responses from. We've realised that fewer MEPs have some awareness. Those green bars at the bottom there are our aware and knowledge, and that's declined 2021 compared to 2020. What does that mean in terms of MEPs' assessments of risk? Well, the overall risk perception of these products, so MEPs who think these products are less harmful than smoking is represented by the green bars, and you can see that's gone down between 2020 and 2021. Not great surprise, and particularly not a great surprise given the fact that we've got more MEPs in our survey sample that have less knowledge of the products or are not aware of them. So quite important though that's a signal that the view of risk is declining, or perhaps arguably we get a better read now of how the European Parliament thinks about risk for these products. Recognising that we have different sets of MEPs now, we divided our respondents between MEPs who had some knowledge or are aware of the products from those that are not aware or have no knowledge. And so that's the left versus the right of this chart. What's obvious is that MEPs with some knowledge and awareness have a very different view in terms of risk assessments compared to those which don't. However, I think we are seeing that even within that group of MEPs that have some knowledge, the views on risk has declined. So that green bar, although it's still very healthy, and a vast majority of MEPs think these products are less harmful than smoking, of those that have some knowledge, that has declined 2021 versus 2020. And another thing to pull out from that is just that it's gone up in relation to nicotine pouch. So it's gone down for vapor and heated tobacco, but it's gone up for nicotine pouch. On the right-hand side of the chart, I think what's very clear is those MEPs with no knowledge or awareness are much less likely to have a view about risk. So many more of them have said they don't know. This chart is around this US concept of new nicotine products providing an on-ramp to smoking or an off-ramp from smoking. So off-ramp is green, on-ramp, if you like, is the brown. Again, I think we've split up the MEP responses from those who are aware and have knowledge of the products versus those that don't. You can see again the same pattern really, that there's been a decline in terms of the sort of positive view of these products. Particularly, I think it's worth pointing out that heated tobacco amongst MEPs, there's been a big change in those that think that this is likely to lead to smoking cigarettes. So that's quite negative. On the other hand, I think worth looking at MEPs with no knowledge. Much less of a change there, just a big increase in those that don't know. Final chart here. The key point to make, I think, on this is that in particular policy areas, MEPs have very different views. So it's not clear that MEPs are just anti these products in all policy respects, and they're just against them for everything. I think what you can see here is, despite there's some decline in these particular policy areas, so MEPs are less likely to regard these products and want to regulate them less strictly than cigarettes. But I think what's also interesting is that the patterns are similar. So we've got some confirmation of the survey results from last year, but also that MEPs think very differently about these different policy areas. So whilst online sales is still very much supported for new nicotine products by MEPs, flavours and particularly advertising is much less so. I'll leave that with you. If anyone would like these slides, we're very happy to share them. We're publishing them as well, and I hope that's been interesting for you. Thanks.